Dub today against the Panthers. Meanwhile, back here, Navy starting with its best field position of the afternoon after its best defensive series of the afternoon. Warren in motion. And that's going to be Nelson Smith. And there's one more look at Robert Green, the assistant coach's defense, doing a great job on the sidelines a moment ago. We have Dalen Morris in the ball game. Meanwhile, Robert Green, the defensive assistant coach and the director of racial equality assigned by their head coach, Neo Matalolo. Constantly in the ear of his players, especially Cameron Kinley, one of their leaders. Nowhere to go on second down. Dalen Morris has come in for this series for Xavier Arline. Morris got to start last week, was only 2 for 4 passing. The senior out of Huntsville, Alabama, did not make the throws or the reads that were quite desirable by the offensive coordinator, Ivan Jasper, so they began with Arline. Right now getting a breather, getting a chance to watch things from the sidelines. Dalen Morris completing 50% of his passes for 16 yards last week, actually 2 weeks ago in that loss against BYU. On the toss to the wide side of the field, and a good open field tackle on Chance Warren. Good close by Macon Clark.
An outstanding close. And Quint pointed out earlier, but these safeties are flying downhill. As you see, the initial safety comes downhill, and then 37 cleans it up. Outstanding job by Chase Kirshen, and then Macon Clark. These guys are flying around, taking proper angles and not allowing Navy to get anything on the perimeter. The defensive line is clogging everything up in the middle, and the safeties, second-level defenders, are flowing and closing everything down the perimeter. This Navy offense just unable to get anything going whatsoever on this Green Wave defense.
Well, Jack Curtis's defense doing a fantastic job so far. Line drive punt, going to take a great bounce for Navy, out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 from there as we take a look at this week's AP rankings, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Clemson, Alabama, Oklahoma, Georgia, and Florida, the top 5. What jumps off the page, if anything, for you there, Dusty?
Not much, just the fact that we haven't seen a lot of these teams in the top 10 yet, right? SEC play scheduled to start next week, so can't wait to take a look at some of these squads. That's the belated start to the season, late in September. Yeah. Feels like college football really gets underway next week when the Big 12 gets in conference play and the SEC gets going.
First down and 10 from the 7-yard line for Keon Howard. Run it to the wide side of the field. Amari Jones trying to shift into another gear. Got those shoulders squared. Ends up with about 8 yards.
In terms of those rankings, guys, I get the feeling it's going to be such a week-to-week season with games being postponed and just the unknown of how everyone's going to operate. Coaches always preach that, but I sense that more this year.
Yeah, going to have to stay in the moment and make adjustments. Another nice run, a spirited run by Amari Jones to pick up the first down for Tulane.
Amari Jones is a space player. They love getting him the football as a receiver on the edges. Punt return, kick return, just so elusive and so smooth with the football. Carroll out in front with the block. That's Deuce Watts getting up on the safety, getting another key block. Back-to-back plays on the perimeter for Amari Jones.
From the 27-yard line, first down and 10. Howard looked like a little pistol formation. They handed off to Cameron Carroll with nowhere to go that time. Good surge on that right side of the defensive front. Pearson making the stop. He was one of several to arrive.
Diego Fagot gets there first. He is playing downhill the last 2 possessions. He said that first game against South Alabama, that first game against BYU, it took him a little while, 3-4 series before he really got into the flow. And it seems as if, even though he dropped a pick a couple of series ago, he is playing faster, more aggressive, more downhill.
Native of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Good pressure by Navy. Howard steps up, going to take off. Has a first down, still on his feet all the way out to the 46-yard line. Keon Howard with a lot of poise in the pocket, making a good decision here.
Yeah, Newberry again dials up the blitz. Fago slides underneath. Carroll gets just enough push, and there's no one home on the backside. The defensive line got washed down. Keon Howard identifies it and gets plenty of yardage for another first down.
Howard in the wake of Jonathan Banks, who played here at quarterback for Tulane. Banks played at Independence Community College for esteemed head coach Jason Brown, who led that team for several years. Howard downfield, complete inside the 30 to the 27-yard line. And another first down for the Green Wave, finding a good rhythm here offensively.
Well, they've got Navy off balance. Just a simple bootleg to the boundary, and he finds his tight end wide open, gets it over the corner before James steps out of bounds. Nice throw and catch. Keon Howard really into a rhythm, playing his best football of the day so far.
Carroll in the backfield. Howard with all day to throw over the middle. Caught and hit immediately.
Keon Howard
pass complete. Daniels with the catch. 3:35 to go.
He's got to find a way to create a negative play, a takeaway, something to slow down this offense, slow down this drive, as at least temporarily Tulane taking their foot off the accelerator just a little bit.
From the 24. And off to Carroll. Still on his feet. Breaking loose. Touchdown Tulane. He housed it. And the Wave putting that tsunami on Navy right now. Cameron Carroll with a touchdown.
They brought pressure off the edge. 79 with the key block. Joey Claybrook washes DeAndre Williams down, allows for the open space for Carroll to make his cut. And then it's that speed I talked about earlier to the open field, as Tulane has everything working here in this first half.
Extra point is good. And with 3:03 to go, the Wave looking for their first 2-0 start for the first time in a long time. And for Navy, it could be a case of, uh-oh, here we go again. Carroll with the score. Back with more right after this. From the NBA, and great game tonight, the Miami Heat taking on the Boston Celtics. You'll see that game on ESPN too. College football. What a great time in the sports calendar, Dusty. We got college football, NFL, NBA.
All you can handle and
baseball.
some.
Yeah.
U.S. Open's going on right now. You name it.
3:03 to go in the first half. Fair catch called at the 10-yard line. Well, coming up, it's time for today's Aflac. First one of the season. Trivia question. Ivan Jasper is in his 13th season as the Navy offensive coordinator. Now, he's the second longest tenured active coordinator in the FBS offense or defensive. Right? Who's the longest? Who's the longest?
Let's say it's on Frank Solich's staff.
Yeah, think about long-standing staffs.
It's been there for a
Iowa,
while.
Northwestern,
Ohio. The Bobcat coach, I think.
TCU.
Just hope you guys didn't Google and cheat last night. Over the middle, Dalen with the pass. Dalen Morris came back in the ball game and just missed his receiver by inches. As we take a look at the answer for our Aflac trivia question. Ivan Jasper, 13th season. Second longest. Tim Albin.
Ohio.
In Ohio.
That's right. Frank Solich.
He's been there for a minute now.
Yes, he has. One of the longest tenured coaches in the FBS.
Former head coach at Nebraska. Doing a nice job with the Bobcats. Another pass, and this one complete by Dalen Morris. Found Mark Walker, who stretched out Dusty to make a nice catch here.
Quality job by Morris. Rolling to his left, sets his feet, and a fantastic catch. Full extension, forearms underneath the football. Fantastic job there by Mark Walker to haul in that grab.
So Dalen Morris in the ball game, his second offensive series. He started the game against BYU and then got pulled in the second half for Perry Olson, who's now in the transfer portal. 2:20 to go in the first half. Morris going to try and pass again. Throws a dart, incomplete, broken up at the 37-yard line. That pass intended for Gleaton.
Nice job.
Gleaton.
Nice job coming in by Chase Kirshen. See Morris stepping up in the pocket, pass thrown behind him, and Kirshen just upends the receiver, unable to come down with the catch. That pass just a little bit off target, as you saw Gleaton try to adjust to the football and bring it in. But Kirshen was not going to allow that. So Gleaton's a little bit shaken up as he goes to the sidelines.
Yeah, took a hit in the back and twisted a little bit on 2nd down and 10 for Dalen Morris, 6'1" senior out of Huntsville, Alabama. Run a little option. Morris is going to keep it and pushed out of bounds right around the 45-yard line, about 3 or 4 yards shy of the first down. Dusty, what do you like coming up here?
Well, we need to still see that fullback get engaged. You know, you also have Morris in there who can throw the football. I thought that the first couple of passes of this series softened up the defense. I'm going to run the football here. I'm going to run my offense. Ohio now has to respect the run game. Again, I'd love to see Carruthers be able to move the football in the middle.
3rd and 4. There he is, but Carruthers couldn't get anywhere. Stopped right after taking that handoff. And a good surge on that defensive front, pardon me. Dorian Williams there to make a hit.
You just see the nose tackle just buries into the ground. They get good penetration and sample, getting in the backfield, nowhere for Navy to run the football inside.
And how big would it have been for Navy, Dusty, to get a score before the end of this first half, as they potentially look at going into the locker room with no points for the 2nd consecutive game, coming off a thrashing at the hands of BYU just a couple of weeks ago.
Got to get some kind of momentum, Jonesy. I mean, we're looking at a team now that's been outscored 79-3 in the first 6 quarters of this season. And as we talked about, I mean, this is a program that is built and founded on toughness, physicality, and they're getting taken to them for a 2nd straight game.
Hey, what about Tulane, though? I mean, they've done a pretty impressive job on both sides of the ball.
No question. I mean, we've seen these running backs really step up. Their offensive and defensive line are as advertised heading into the football game. And, hey, Keon Howard making some nice throws to run this offense.
They're going to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th and 3, a little movement up front, loose ball. And I'm not sure exactly what happened there. It looked like Navy fumbled it, or Dalen Morris wasn't ready for the snap. The center, Pierce Branbury, might have snapped it prematurely, or either way you spell it or line it up. Oh, the ball did come up, but he just didn't get the first down.
He wasn't ready for the snap. I think exactly what you said. He didn't look like he was ready for the snap, wasn't anticipating it. It came up into his chest. Knowing that, just tries to get what he can get. And they try to be aggressive, try to get some positive momentum before the half, and they roll snake eyes. Just
going back a couple of weeks ago, there's a look at what they've been outscored by. 1st down and 10. Do you take a shot here after the turnover?
No doubt, always.
Howard was looking downfield, still is, and underthrows his open receiver on the play. He had a man, but threw it short. Michael Jones, the Oklahoma grad transfer, there he is, was open. But it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, 5 grad transfers come on this Tulane team, and talking with their coaching staff, they feel Michael Jones already the best speed and most dangerous wide receiver they have on their roster. You saw Keon Howard wanted to go downtown on that 1st down after a sudden change.
2nd and 10. Jones split again to the bottom of your screen. Jaquan Jackson, the inside receiver, to the bottom of your screen. Jackson had 3 catches last week, been quiet this week. That's going to be a nice run for close to a 1st down on the play. Robertson with a nice run, and there's a look at the grad transfers, a continuing trend in college football, and I don't think it's a bad one. They snap it quickly.
Really running on the left side of that offensive line behind 64 Corey Dublin, 79 Joey Claybrook. Those guys have been outstanding so far here today. Sincere Hainsworth, the center, doing a nice job as well, getting movement at the point of attack.
Anderson ran that last one, number 5. Here's Howard on the move. Going to tuck it under and stay on his feet inside the 20 down to the 18-yard line with 51 seconds to go. That tempo has been an important thing for this Tulane offense.
Well, it's tough to replicate in practice for Navy, and they knew coming in, it disrupts their ability to move and do the things they do pre-snap.
And an interception on the play. Kinley with the pick and slides down safely at the 7-yard line. So Cameron Kinley, the 6'2 senior out of Memphis, with an interception and a big play finally by that defense. If nothing else, a little bit of a spirit booster going into the locker room.
Well, they needed that, no question. You see Kinley on the bottom side of your screen. He's in zone coverage. As he gets depth, reads the quarterback's eyes, and Keon Howard gives him a gift. One that this Navy football team, as your reference partner, they needed oh so bad here before we hit the half.
Cameron Kinley, a real leader on that defense. The class president for 2020 class at the Naval Academy, and a team captain, a real important voice on the field and on the sidelines and beyond. They run it between the tackles on 1st down and 10. That's Nelson Smith. Nelson Smith with a rare carry for him this afternoon. Dalen Morris still in at quarterback, taking over from Xavier Arline. 2nd down, handed off in a 1st down run by Nelson Smith, the 5'9 senior from Baton Rouge. Just up the way on Interstate 10. And that's going to do it for the first half of action. A dominant performance by Tulane, as the defense hangs a donut on the boarding wave. And if you're looking at Tulane getting to receive the ball, what does that defense for Navy have to do here early in the 3rd?
Build off the interception they had right prior to half, right? Negative plays downhill. I'm expecting a very aggressive game plan from Brian Newberry coming out of halftime.
Wave will get the ball. Amari Jones back there to receive the kick. And Jones watching it go over his head. It'll be 1st down and 10 from the 25-yard line as we take a look at our Pac Pacific Life game summary. And some of the cogent numbers so far. They ran the ball at will. Close to 200 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 of them from that man right there, Cameron Carroll, who had 2 touchdowns last week as well. And defensively, they pitched a shutout.
Yeah, not just on the scoreboard, but also on 3rd down. Navy, not a single 3rd down conversion in that first half.
On the handoff, 1st and 10, as Tajay Spears picks up about a yard on the play. Quint, what's up at halftime?
Well, Willie Fritz, Tulane head coach, known as a turnaround artist, the 60-year-old, has just turned program after program after program around, and that's because of high standards. And I asked him what he liked about the first half. He said the O-line, sharper than they were compared to week 1 against South Alabama, and the D-line handling the option well. I think the area of question marks for him, the play of the quarterback, Keon Howard, inconsistent.
Coach is not always pleased, even though it looks good on the scoreboard. That pass complete to Fat Watts. That had a touchdown catch in the first half for the Green Wave. Keon Howard's numbers, 10 of 18 after that completion. No touchdowns and a pick.
And that was the question coming in. Can Keon Howard, can he win throwing the football down the field? Will Hall, offensive coordinator at Tulane, told us they wanted more of an impetus on the passing game this season. And as we saw in the first game in the first half here today, Keon Howard, he's been suspect at times throwing the football. Expecting a run here on 3rd and short.
Got about 3 to go. Spears in the backfield. Over the middle, and whistle blown before, and looks like that Tulane was able to take a timeout.
Timeout, Tulane.
3rd down and 3. On the slant, a bounce pass incomplete. And there's some of that inconsistency that Willie Fritz was alluding to with Quint Kesnick down on the sidelines a moment ago. It'll be 4th down coming up.
And that's what the tape showed from a week ago and what we've seen so far this first half. Slant route is open. He's got Jacob Robertson, essentially wide open for an easy 1st down, and he's 2 yards short. We've seen him miss high, short, inconsistent with accuracy, and then the interception before half decision-making. Been a question here so far this afternoon.
Howard now 10 of 19 passing, 108 yards. The punt, a low-line drive. Fielded on the run. And nowhere to go for Mark Walker. Got a couple of yards on the punt return. Navy has used a couple of quarterbacks already in this game, starting with the true freshman Xavier Arline and then giving way to Dalen Morris, who looks like he's trying to rally the troops on the sidelines and coming back onto the field here. Dusty, what do you make of him starting the 3rd quarter? Been back and forth a little bit with it.
Yeah, not surprised because they're down 24. They're going to have to throw the football down the field at some point. Dalen Morris gives them a much better opportunity to do that.
1st down and 10. Morris hands it off. A gaping hole up the middle, and one of the biggest plays of the afternoon for Navy offensively. Jamel Carruthers accelerating through that hole here, Dusty.
Big hole off the right side, 73. The right guard with a quality block. Big hole gaping for Jamal Carruthers. They've been waiting on him to get going here this afternoon. Had a monster game against him a year ago.
He was a revelation last year after moving over from slot back. This time picks up a couple of yards. Carruthers had 54 yards against Tulane a season ago in this game. On a consecutive carry, looks like we have a player shaken up on the field for the Green Wave. That's number 31, the safety, Larry Brooks. On 2nd down and 8 coming up.
Pretty crucial situation here for this Navy offense.
Sample a great story. Played as a 17-year-old freshman, so he's had a lot of reps. Initially committed to Georgia Southern, then changing his mind, coming to Tulane. Now a key component of that defensive front. Last week's AAC Defensive Player of the Week. Little trickery coming up on the throwback. Complete and close to the 1st down. Morris made the catch, and they're going to move the chains complete at the 48-yard line. So Ivan Jasper dials up a little misdirection here, Dusty.
Little halfback pass. They tried this last week. It didn't work. Miles Fells back to his quarterback. And the safety, Kirshen, unable to get there in time. He goes low. Morris makes the catch, and just enough for a much-needed Navy 1st down.
Miles Fells, the lefty, running that direction and squaring up and delivering a strike here. Great concentration by the quarterback, Dalen Morris, to hang on knowing that he was going to take a hit.
In pursuit, Cam Sample, who's trailing that play, injured right at the end, right ankle, but good to see the big man back on his feet. This young man's got an NFL career ahead potential. He's got an interesting body for a D-end outside linebacker type, and at 280, apparently can run a 4.6, sub 4.6, so NFL scouts will be evaluating him all season long.
I think he's got versatility. I think he can play 3 technique inside as a pass rusher, hand into the ground, D-end, or a stand-up linebacker. Bright future. I agree, Quint.
On the handoff, this is Carruthers. And that's just the 3rd play in Tulane territory. Under 12 minutes to go.
I asked Coach Ken Niumatalolo at halftime, I said, Coach, are there any positives that you're going to draw upon in the second half? He looked at me bluntly and said, no, there were no positives. I mean, he cut it straight. But this team looks focused and efficient now here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, got a little bit of rhythm going here, Q. On 2nd and 5, Carruthers again picks up about 3, keeps those legs moving, maybe 4 yards. Going to set up a 3rd down and short. Dusty, what do you like coming up next?
Well, I like the same thing. I like a fullback dive. What I like about this drive, though, or at least this set of downs, they're staying in front of the chains. 1st down, 5 yards. 2nd down, 4 yards. Sets up 3rd and short. That's what this offense does. That's how this offense is efficient and typically, converts quite a bit on 3rd down.
Carruthers has been carrying the ball a lot here. former high school player of the year in the state of Kentucky, picks up the first down. A spirited run on the right side of that offensive line, running over Chance Warren and Billy Honecker.
A better job on the right side, as you mentioned. Billy Honecker, tough guy, started every game last year. Peter Nestrowitz as well, 71-73, getting a little bit more movement for that Tulane defensive line.
First down and 10 from the 34. Carruthers again, this time upended. We talked about Carruthers being and a late flag on the play. The 2016 Kentucky High School Mr. Football in that state. He was a real revelation last year after moving from slot back. And he actually started here on the JV back in high school before becoming the senior player of the year.
They found him last year on the JV squad at Navy when the year started, and he was playing special teams, clocked 21 miles an hour on the GPS. They knew they had to find him a spot.
Personal foul, shot block, number 79 and number 67. 15 yards, good spot of the foul, still first down.
Dusty, you played defensive line. You know the position, you know the game. What's it like playing against guys diving at your legs, or is that a misnomer?
Oh, no. I mean, listen, whenever you're playing against a team like this and they cut a line, as you see 67 engaged with the linebacker, 28 Marvin Moody, and 79 comes in on the backside of his legs. They're going to err on the side of caution to protect these defensive players. If an offensive lineman is engaged with a defensive lineman or a linebacker, you cannot throw at him, and that's exactly what happened there from the backside. Justin Self draws the flag. Good call.
First and 25, back near midfield. And wow, what a great play. Dalen Morris sacked for a loss. Great surge up front by Marvin Moody, the 6'2 senior from Bryan, Arkansas.
Times this up perfect. He's on a blitz, anticipates the snap, knifes inside the block, and a tackle for loss, setting up second and really long, especially for this Navy offense.
Boy, this drive looks so promising just a couple of plays ago. Right now on their own side of midfield at the 48-yard line. Benio Matalolo, his 13th season as head coach, 11-2 a season ago.
You can take a shot and throw the football, get a chunk of this yardage back.
Second and 28. That pass complete to Chance Warren, and Warren steps out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. They're up the line of scrimmage real quick. Third down coming up. They've got to get all the way to the 34.
Yeah, they're thinking 2-2 plays here, I would imagine. End up going for it on fourth, so get half here, maybe half on fourth down.
Absolutely. Just try to cut this in half. Sitting here at 3rd and 18, 9-10 yards is all they're looking for. We haven't seen much today from 3 Michael Cooper. Low side of your screen, but a big target for this offense.
6'5". Morris back to pass under some heat. He's going to run it, but step out of bounds short of the first down right at the 40-yard line. So it's going to be fourth down and about 6 to go. And as we were talking about, you would guess that the offense stay on the field here, but looks like they're going to punt this thing away.
If they could have got it to, 4th and manageable, 4th and 15, 4th and 16, not manageable for this offense. And pressure came quickly. Dalen Morris had nothing to do but evade the rush, get outside. Nice job getting a stop by the Tulane defense.
Good to see Sample come back on the field as they're going to try a field goal. And this would be a 57-yarder by Beesman Nichols, who it was Nichols last year for Navy that kicked the game-winning field goal with time winding down. Kicked a 48-yarder last year. The last 3 meetings between Tulane and Navy have gone down to the dying moments of the game, decided by 3 points or fewer. Last season came down to the last play in the last seconds. Nichols hit a 48-yarder right there as time expired for the 3-point win. That was last October. That seems a long and far time away right now, though, for Matalolo's team.
Each of these last 3 contests between these teams have been razor thin. 3 years ago, a 2-point win by Navy. 2 years ago, it was a 1-point win by Tulane with a late touchdown and 2-point conversion, as we saw the walk-off field goal a season ago. They're going to try to kick this from about 57, Jones.
He's on Nichols, sophomore from Heath, Texas. A 57-yarder. Got it up in the air pretty well, but not enough leg. Dies just yards short of the goalposts. And as a result, boy, Tulane will take over with pretty good field position. One more look. He gave it a run.
I was really surprised they elected to go for it. Coach Niumatalolo knows his kicker's distance far better than me, but that was well short from 57. And now you give this Tulane offense that you have struggled to stop all day excellent field position.
The coach had told us that his range was mid to low 50s. That was 57. That's really stretching it. 1st and 10. And off onto the 43-yard line. That was Jones on the carry.
He's such a great changeup. So impressed with this Tulane running back trio of Jones, Spears, Carroll.
Here's Howard. Plenty of time all day to pass, and overshoots his intended receiver, Jaquan Jackson. And he had him wide open.
Just a simple dig route. And he's, as you mentioned, he's got Jackson wide open and airmails it. Continued inconsistent accuracy for the quarterback, Keon Howard.
I mean, he was there.
A pick.
Yeah, he was there, so it sets up a 3rd down and 7. Got to get to midfield.
I'm Brian Newberry. I'm going to dial up some pressure, try to heat up Keon Howard.
Over the middle, Jones had it in his hands, incomplete. So it's 3 and out for the Tulane offense. Navy will get the football.
Oh, well, this is a ball that has to be caught by Amari Jones on the slant, open. This time Keon Howard puts it in a good spot, right in his hands. Yeah. Amari Jones unable to bring it in. We talked about the fast start for Tulane in the first half. Very slow out of the half here in the second.
Mark Walker standing back at his own 22-yard line for Navy. A high spiral punt. And a fair catch called right at the 15. And there's going to be a flag on the play.
Fair punt on number 80.
Looks like Chase Kirshen was inside that area that the punt returner is allowed to have. That halo.
Kick catching interference. Number 36 of the kicking team. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Automatic 1st down.
Hey folks, tonight in our Saturday night football game, Derek King leading the number 17 Miami Hurricanes into Louisville, taking on the number 18 Cardinals at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC, as well as the ESPN app. That game a little bit of a marker in the ACC. Maybe one of those teams has a warning shot for Clemson, maybe?
I don't know about a warning shot for Clemson, but maybe everyone else is competing for second place. But a great matchup, no question.
Got to think big, Dusty. Got to think big. Back to pass over the middle, complete down to the 45-yard line, and a dart thrown by Dalen Morris to Michael Cooper. That's that big target you were talking about a moment ago, Dusty.
I mentioned him on the last 3rd down. I think they wanted to go to him. Just a post route up the middle of the field and a well-thrown ball by Dalen Morris.
A 24-yard gain up to the 45 on Tulane's side of midfield. Morris with time again. Over the middle. Caught! The ball comes loose. They're going to say that he was down right at the 1-yard line. Mark Walker let the ball loose as we take one more look at it. He caught it.
Definitely caught the football. Now, was he down?
Yard line.
He's down.
First
Yeah,
down,
his knee
Navy.
touched.
That's a catch, and I'm guessing ball down right there on the 1 or just inside the 1. Outstanding throw by Dalen Morris up the seam. And as we saw, the second nice catch today by Mark Walker, extending his hands to complete the catch. Navy offense, a little bit of life here in the second half.
All the way down to the 1-yard line.
Nelson Smith.
Big fullback. The lone back behind Morris. Takes it, gets airborne. Touchdown, Navy. And they're on the board. Nelson Smith. Back in his home state of Louisiana, the Baton Rouge native, taking it in for the first score of the game for Navy.
Fullback dive, but this offense is predicated on.
Oh, get that push up in. Come on now. Got to flex, as Navy did on that last series. An impressive one. Neo Mazzololo's team. With 6:43 to go in the third quarter, showing a sign of life.
Head coach, talked about that they didn't do much tackling. They tackle on dummies, no live contact. It showed in their first game from the standpoint of a lot of missed tackles, and I think that's carried over from a defensive standpoint even today against Tulane.
Ken Niumatalolo, again, that is the struggle here, and that will be the theme here for many teams playing their first football game of the fall. And Mark, as a quarterback, offensively, if you can't get on the same page with your team in consistent practices, what are the challenges?
Well, it's hard enough to convert 1 third down after all the training camp practices that you've had, but you take those away and you're doing these over Zoom, or you have some sort of communication issues. This makes it really tough. And listen, this offensive coordinator at Tulane, Coach Will Hall, he's going to be the next head coach around college football somewhere, because they locked up Fritz for 6 years. Now they're called the Green Wave. This is like a tsunami for Navy. They're giving them all they can handle, man. They're knocking that ship right over.
Yeah, and right now we've seen Navy struggle out the gate against BYU, and Ken Niumatalolo, we're waiting, because the way we've seen in the past, we are waiting for the true Navy team. They're still figuring out a lot of things at quarterback. And when you're doing all of that in the process of this pandemic, the challenges are there.
And let's also understand what Navy wants to do offensively. They want to run the football. Yeah, they mixing a play-action pass here or there, but this is a run-based offense, and when you don't have your primary playmaker at that position that can navigate and orchestrate the offense, it's going to struggle, and it's showing today.
Yeah, once again, with technical difficulties at the moment for Tulane and Navy, we will get out to Mark Jones and Dusty Dvorak, Quint Kesnick, when we get things figured out technically. As a result, you're seeing images here in the pictures in the Green Wave, and Willie Fritz, he's done a fantastic job, and the security there for him and his team. We'll see if Navy can find a way offensively here moving forward and kind of generate some positive yardage, because again, Mark, as a quarterback, this is not just about scoring. This is, hey, can we just get a first down and then build off the first down into the next first down and then continue the series?
That's right. They got to build trust with the communication, and then you got to have success to build that trust, and they're just not doing it on Navy's side of the ball. But conversely, Willie Fritz and his kid, Wes Fritz, Willie Fritz cooks the dinner, and Wes Fritz goes out and buys the groceries. He's a recruiting coordinator, and he's done just a heck of a job getting good players in here. This quarterback looks dynamite, man. They're playing so well.
Yeah, they're definitely more confidence. Keon Howard's his name, and he's done a great job, and Spears has been fantastic in the backfield. As for Navy, they talked about it on the broadcast. Again, trying to find the right quarterback. You had a transfer as well, and what's the identity of the team? Dalen Morris there, Miles Fells, and trying to create something positive. Again, on offense right now, the Navy team, they are down 24-7. The only good thing we could say, though, for the Middies, getting a touchdown in the second half and right up the gut.
Oh, baby.
That's a big deal.
We got problems.
And that's the key to the offense. It's the fullback. That's where the offense stops and starts. You get the fullback involved, and there the offense can go from there. Now you can pull it, you can set up the pitch, but a nice job by the interior three, center, guard, doing a nice job opening up that hole on the inside.
Yeah, and that long run, Jamel Carruthers, who's been, the guy, the primary ball carrier, he's going to take a breather here as they're inside the 5-yard line and looking to potentially score and make this a game.
And look up front for Tulane, listen, they got 2 draftable D linemen. They got an outside linebacker, number 7, Patrick Johnson, who's got to help in stopping these long runs and stopping that fullback like Booger was talking about. But most importantly, right in the middle, defensive tackle, number 5, Cam Sample. He's got to stop that run in the middle, and he can't get double teamed. So he's doing all the dirty work up front, and Tulane looking to make a goal line stand here.
The problem, too, when you're Navy and you have an offense that's run dominant, if you are down by double digits, you can't get back in the game by passing. This is what you got to do. You got to punch it in on big runs, but you also got to convert inside the 3.
Well, without a doubt, the Navy needs this score. If you're Navy, you got to punch this football in.
And right now, 24-7, this is a critical down here for Navy. I would imagine that they would go for 7. We're going to hear from Mark Jones and our crew in a matter of moments. Kevin Nagandi in studio alongside Mark Sanchez and Booger McFarland. And Navy off that big run by Carruthers trying to punch it in. And, nice stuff right there on the front line. They eventually give it to Navy. And now, guys, we've got a game.
Now we got a ball game. But you said it, Kev. It's a ball control offense. And if they get down, they can't just throw it all over the yard and all of a sudden get into empty formations, right? They're used to running that loaded backfield, rush the ball down your throat, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. So in a game like this, they got to get ahead early, which they didn't, and then keep control of the clock, limit your offensive possessions, and tire out your defense, basically wear them down. And so they're trying to do it now. It just might be too little too late.
Nelson Smith going in for that touchdown score, and we'll see if this extra point goes in. Nichols getting set up here. It was all set up. Jamel Carruthers with a 48-yard run up the gut. And again, right now, what we've seen the first 2 weeks of the college football season, there are no gimmies when it comes to extra points.
Hashtag college kickers.
Yes.
Oh,
okay,
nice.
You can breathe a little bit as now we have a 10-point game.
He saved his relationship. His girlfriend's not going to dump him.
At least for 1 week, right?
At least for a
great piece on Game Day with Pat McAfee talking to kickers and past kickers, successful kickers in the league, and what they've had to experience and all the missed opportunities during their college days, and a little pep talk here for the kicker from the Citadel. Right now, we have a good one. At least it's turning into, as the Navy offense getting 2 touchdowns in the second half, 24-14 as promised. Let's go to Tulane. Mark Jones, take it away.
And welcome back, everyone, to New Orleans. We had a little bit of a power surge here in New Orleans, and with our production trucks and units, thus blacking us out for a moment. But while you were away, Navy getting a key stop on defense and a big run by Jamel Carruthers to set up a touchdown run a moment ago from Nelson Smith. Thus, we've got suddenly a 24-14 ball game with 2:46 to go in the third quarter as Navy has rallied now here in the third quarter. The momentum has swung in Navy's favor as we go down to Quint. Hey, what has the Navy defense done in the last couple of sequences to make it work in their favor, Dusty?
I'll tell you what, that last sequence, number 90, their defensive tackle, Pearson, made a couple of nice plays. They're winning the line of scrimmage for the first time seemingly all day.
And they limit that gain by Tajay Spears to about 3 yards. Be second down and 7.
And it does feel like Uncle Mo is in the building.
Yeah.
Navy's got a little bit more pep in their step. Keon Howard has come out really off target.
Back here in studio, once again, we apologize to our audience as we work through the technical difficulties and our broadcasting crew in Tulane. Kevin Nagani alongside Mark Sanchez and Booger McFarland. Now it's Tulane's turn to respond here. A little bit of some adversity here. Again, let's not forget, they've got a 10-point lead. And when you don't have a big crowd, there is no momentum. And, that is a big drop there on a 3rd and 4.
Little alligator arms, I think. Hang on to that, big fella.
Well, they cannot do that in that situation. So, again, no crowd. So the momentum factor it gets to be real here, favoring Navy.
Huge stop by Navy's defense, and there's plenty of time left in this game so they can continue to run their base offense, ball control, run the football. And Uncle Mo is now with the midshipman.
Yeah, Tyrick James, the drop there, the junior tight end. So now here comes Tulane punting. And Navy will receive with the chance to close this game. Down double digits, it'll go out of bounds. So a minute 33 in the 3rd quarter. There is life for the Navy midshipmen as they will get the ball to come out. And we take a look at the last drive. You know, it's the big running game waking up here to set up the touchdown inside the 3.
More importantly, the fullback up the middle. That's what Navy is known for. Everything stops and starts with the fullback. Now expect them at some point this drive to fake to the fullback and pull it and get out on the perimeter.
Jamel Carruthers with that big run, 48 yards, and then Nelson Smith would punch it in. So here we go. 1st and 10, just at the 32-yard line for Navy. You see the total yards there, over 170, and they're going to the passing game. They'll air it out. They have a chance, but just a little too far on the throw.
I mean, they can't get enough reps at this kind of stuff, and then when you need it in a crucial situation like a game like this, it makes it so difficult without time on task. So this is going to be a heck of an uphill battle for Navy.
Pass intended for C.J. Williams. Do you like the call, though, in a situation like that?
I mean, you got to. It's a little early to get that greedy, to go over the top, Boog. I agree. But, I mean, I felt like you said, they had Uncle Mo on their side. Let's maybe take a shot here after a big stop.
Dalen Morris under center. We'll see if they go back to the running game, and there is up the gut. If it's working, keep going, right? With the fullback, Carruthers picking up 4 yards on the run.
Well, let's just face it. That's what they do. And at some point, when Tulane starts to guard against their fullback, now you can pull it and get on the edge, and Dalen Morris or Fels, those guys can make some plays on the perimeter.
Nick Anderson on the stop for Tulane. So 3rd and 6. We'll see if they go back to the run game. Morris going back, feeling the pressure, rolling out to the right side.
There he is. That was the pressure from Sample. He's the one who needed to step up, and he sure did right there from the outside linebacker position. Great
Intended
stump move.
for Michael Cooper, so they'll be forced to look at the situation and bring out the punt unit. We'll see on 4th and 6. Again, an opportunity, but 2 play calls where you're throwing the football on this series.
More importantly, the first one. I did not like the first play call. You come out in the shotgun formation, try to hit a big play. If you're going to be a run-based ball control offense, you need to take sometimes 4 downs, but more importantly, the first 3, you need to run the football.
They take 40 seconds off the clock. Kevin Nagani here in our ABC studios alongside Mark Sanchez and Booger McFarland. Technical difficulties with our game crew in Tulane. So we are here with you. We apologize for that. But in the meantime, we do have suddenly a great punt. And Navy special teams coming up big here late in the 3rd quarter. Outstanding job by the punter, Daniel Davies, sophomore from Richardson, Texas. So Tulane in a situation where you got to go maybe to the ground game and don't make mistakes.
Keon Howard, their quarterback. He's a transfer from Southern Miss. It's raining. You're up. You have the lead. We're about to get into the 4th quarter. Be extra careful with that football. That's all I'd say in this situation. 2 hands on the ball. Follow that ball carrier. And if you let the ball go airborne, make sure it's to the right guy. Keep that ball numbers and lower. You don't want that thing tipping up to a defensive back waiting to take it back to the house.
Howard on the day, 26 yards on the ground, 19 yards. This is long, but here comes the Navy defense in the backfield, and they're going to get a safety. Tremendous pursuit by the front line by Navy.
Wow.
And put your hands together. That's 2 extra points, and suddenly we're at a 1-score contest.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy is right.
Talk about momentum, Boog.
Tulane has dominated this game all day long. A big run by the fullback, and now this Navy defense who's given up 200 yards rushing today with a huge stop.
Cameron Carroll, he had no real estate. He tried his best there, trying to break it to the outside. Great pursuit by Navy. And as a result, they get 2 points. Yeah, put them together, and they'll get the ball, of course, to respond. Ken Niumatalolo not giving up 16 points unanswered so far by Navy in this third quarter, making this an 8-point game. Comes back to the little things, and we see that special teams punt. Fantastic coverage, fantastic kick to set this up. And now the trouble. Now we will see how Tulane responds with a little bit of adversity.
More importantly, if you look at Navy, when they get the ball from an offensive standpoint, I don't think we're going to see a long pass. Go back to the basics, doing what you do best. Let's try to drive this football, because this is a one-score game now. Touchdown, 2-point conversion. This is a tie ball game. A lot of momentum, a lot of excitement on that Navy sideline.
That rain's really coming down. That the importance of ball security is only going to increase as this game goes on and on. These guys really got to take care of the football, and this is a chance for Navy to set themselves up in great field position because Tulane's got to go punt it after a safety.
Good to hear the Nat sound there on our broadcast. Kevin Agani alongside Mark Sanchez and Booger McFarland. Another very good kick there. And here on the return is Navy's Mark Walker. So special teams playing a huge role here for Navy in the last 2 minutes to make this an 8-point game, and they will come out. And this offense, we mentioned the rain, little weather here, that favors a team like Navy and that ground attack.
Keep pounding it, keep that ball on the ground, hand it to that running back. Carruthers, give him a chance to just advance the ball on first down. All you need right now, take this one play at a time. Make it so simple for these guys. You don't have to win the game in one play. Just get me positive yards on this first down.
You see the yardage differential is Morris under center. Again, the ground game up the gut, and that is a first down quickly. Nelson Smith moving the chains.
Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Right now, this Tulane defense is on their heels. Continue to pound it down their throat. Nice call there by Navy.
Trying to sneak in an extra play here right before the fourth quarter.
Excuse me, this was Jamel Carruthers with this long run. He stopped again, number 34, the junior from Bowling Green, Kentucky.
I don't know if we needed to run a play right there. I mean,
first lead, the Cowboys, they're up 10-7. I'm really grateful to say let's go to Mark, Dusty, and Q. Welcome back, boys.
Hey, nothing but a little bit of a power surge here at the stadium. We're back on the air and ready to go. The start of the fourth quarter, 24-16. Tulane with a tenuous lead because all of the momentum right now stands with Navy. And their quarterback, Dalen Morris, the number 2 guy coming into this game, offside going to be called against the Green Wave. Morris had been relegated to the backup role coming into this contest. Xavier Arline got the start, but he has given way to Morris, who has connected on some very timely passes. He's 4 of 8 for 92 yards. And Jamel Carruthers and the fullback Nelson Smith have both done a great job running the ball. Here's the call.
Offside. Defense, number 28. Made contact with a Navy player. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
What's been the key on that offensive line, or up front in general, Dusty?
Well, 62, Pierce Banbury's done a fantastic job. Also 73, Peter Nestrowitz getting movement. And I'm going to tell you, when Tulane pulls 77, Jeffrey Johnson out, the middle of the field is open.
They try to hit the middle of the field again, Quint. Down to the 37.
Jonesy, during that stoppage, music pumping in this house. No fans here. Tulane trying to find some juice. I mean, they've been totally flat in the second half, having dominated the first half. Meanwhile, Navy gained some confidence early stages of the third quarter, and suddenly they look like a new team.
3rd down and 3 coming up. Jamel Carruthers in the backfield. 9 quarterback Dalen Morris. Carruthers gets the call, and that's going to be close, maybe a little bit short. What do you do here, Dusty, on 4th and short?
You're going for it. I mean, this is situations that Navy football, option football teams, they live for. 3rd and 4th short situations. You're down 8, all the momentum, and you're at a spot in the field. I don't know if you want to kick it there from 53. This is go all the way. I wouldn't even change much about it. 34, Jamel Carruthers, he's been the story in the second half.
Got a whistle and a timeout going to be taken by Navy and head coach Ken Niumatalolo in his 13th season. A pivotal play coming up here early in the fourth quarter. Navy surging back. Let's recap the scoring that happened a moment ago. Over the top, the fullback, that was Nelson Smith getting into the end zone. We saw that offensive line dig their feet in and get just enough movement on that line of scrimmage. And then the safety.
Huge play. Downhill, you see Fagot coming downhill. There's also McKinley in there. As they walk, Tulane, ball carrier, Carroll out of the back of the end zone, and all of a sudden a one-score game. When it felt like at halftime, I mean, it was almost as if here we go again. We showed the graphics, 79-3. The first 6 quarters of the season, Navy had been outscored, and man, if they come alive here in this second half. And kind of a role reversal for Tulane. Remember, they were down 24-6 a week ago in the third quarter, and here today up 24-0. And Navy with a pivotal play to continue with this momentum.
4th down and 1. The fullback in, Nelson Smith. They run a little option. Morris keeps it himself, has the first down, still on his feet all the way down to the 32-yard line. So they move the chains and hold on to the football with 13:46 to go. Dalen Morris has resurrected, has refurbished, has lifted this offense here in the second half.
Hit some big shots down the field to get things going, softened up this defense, and now the running game's starting to work.
He's looking to throw it, has a man on the slant, wide open, caught, touchdown Michael Cooper! Wow, what a comeback by Navy! Michael Cooper, wide open over the middle. And now they're within 2 points.
This is what won Dalen Morris the job in fall camp. Came in as the backup, established himself as a passer, continued to work and work, earned that job, split last week with Perry Olsen, played the first half, set the second, and man, didn't get the start today, but since he's come in, he has made the most of it.
What do you make of them going for 2 here instead of the extra point with this much time?
It's the right call, there's no question. Try to tie this game up or you're still a field goal down.
Carruthers in the backfield, they fake the toss. Morris into the end zone, room service, caught, and we've got a tie game. Devin Matthews with the reception, and Morris has breathed new, fresh life into Navy. There's a flag down on the play.
Yeah, roughing the passer at the end of it.
You can't say enough about the courage of Dalen Morris. Here's the call.
The result of the play was a touchdown. Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 30.
What a miraculous comeback by Navy. They tack on the penalty on the kickoff here, so they kick off from midfield. A team that was down 24-0 at halftime and seemingly lifeless, languid, no energy at all. They have stormed back. Fair catch called at the 7-yard line. And we got a little more extracurricular hitting after the whistle.
Well, this is an important series for Will Hall and the Tulane offense. I mean, because they haven't done anything in the second half. No first downs, 2 3-and-outs, and then they got stopped for a safety. They've got to respond at the very least to give their defense a rest. They've been on the field a lot here in the second half. They've got to dig in, get back to that running game that was so good for them in the first half.
Well, they got some guys back there. See if they can get untracked. 1st and 10 from the 25. Handoff. This is the guy that they look for a lot. Tajay Spears breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet and down the sideline. That's going to go inside Navy territory at the 47-yard line. A nice way to start a drive.
Just an inside zone. Watch the ability to make people miss. Jump cut out to the right. Little head bob. And he's at full speed out in the open field to the far sideline. Big time pickup for Tajay Spears to start this drive.
Playing with a lot of confidence this year. Here he is again. Tackled after a 1-yard gain on the play by number 46, Tommy Lawley. 2nd down and About 9 to go.
It's been raining all game, but it's a driving rain at this point, Jonesy. Seems like it's intensified as the game's gone on.
There's Brian Newberry, whose defense has been impenetrable here in the second half. Pitching a shutout so far. On 2nd and 8. And up again, this is Amari Jones, and Jones is going to be bottled up. Sets up a 3rd and about 5 to go, Dusty.
3rd and 5, and we've seen several times on 3rd down, they've had 2 different slants. One to Jones, one to Tyrick James. Both were drop passes. We'll see if we go back to that well. Nice, easy throw for Keon Howard. Can get the ball out quick. But as I mentioned, the rain coming down, let play a role in the decision to throw the football here.
Watts to the bottom of your screen wide. Robertson split wide to the top of your screen. 3rd and 4. They're going to run it. And a great tackle in the backfield by Fagot. Diego Fagot from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with a big play on 3rd down.
Well, this is their leader on defense. They needed a big play, and they've got it. As you see him on the right side of your screen, untouched, downhill right now, makes the play in the backfield to force this 4th down.
Dusty, why did they go for it here? Do you like the call? They're going to keep their offense on the field at the 42-yard line, 4th and 5.
I don't like the call personally. I would punt. I guess Fritz is just trying to get something going, trying to create some type of momentum.
Here we go. They come with a little bit of pressure. Force them to throw. They hit the receiver. Incomplete. Intended for Jones. He couldn't hang on. And Navy takes over with 11:01 to go in the 4th quarter. Tie game with the ball.
We've talked about it all day. Brian Newberry, 2nd-year defensive coordinator. Huge improvements from year 1 to year 2. He's aggressive. He attacks. And they dial up the pressure as they go for it on a crucial 4th down.
He was actually number 3 on the depth chart. Not number 2, not number 1, but showing great work, patience, footwork. He was locked in and won the starting job before giving way to the number 2 quarterback here today, Xavier Arline. On the handoff, Morris keeps it out to the 50-yard line. 3rd and short, Dusty.
And what I loved when I heard from offensive coordinator Ivan Jasper, he told Dalen, he said, stay positive. Don't get down on yourself. And when your opportunity presents itself, make the most of it. He's done that and some here today on a 3rd and short. This is exactly the type of territory this Navy offense wants to be in. 94's in. The big nose 77's out. Look for up the middle.
That's what they try. Carruthers stopped, and boy, it's going to be close. It looks like he got it, depending on that line that we have projected down on the field. And they're going to move the chains and give him a 1st down at the 48-yard line.
So up front in the middle, 77, Jeffrey Johnson, when he's off the field, we've seen this Navy offense in the second half have a lot of productivity running right up the middle with that fullback dive. They don't have any other defensive linemen at Tulane that are as massive as Jeffrey Johnson, as he's still on the sidelines getting a breath.
Carruthers in the backfield. He takes the handoff. They're trying to pound away between the tackles. That time, nowhere to go. Tackle made by Anderson on the play. Nick Anderson, who led the team in stops a week ago in that win against University of Southern Alabama. 9:12 to go, the clock running.
Some confusion on the Navy sideline. Looks like Coach Niumatalolo wants to use a timeout, and he will.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ivan Jasper, their offensive coordinator, has been pressing all the right buttons here in the second half for Navy offensively. Jasper is a native of Watts, California. Grew up a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and a guy that has really helped tactically get this team back into this football game. As right now we take a look at today's hardest working player, brought to you by Duluth Trading Company. Who's the hardest working player? Got to be this guy. Number 8, Dalen Morris.
That was the first big shot down the field. This broke it open. The Mark Walker dive down the field as he stretches out. And here's the touchdown, the final one we saw to Michael Cooper. Everything's rolling right now for Dalen Morris, who again making the absolute most out of his second opportunity here today.
It had been a struggle replacing 3-year starter Malcolm Perry prior to this second half. Morris got his mojo back. 2nd down and 10 from the 48. He's going to throw it here. And he wisely throws it away. Outside of the pocket, ball beyond the line of scrimmage, thus no grounding. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Not opportune down and distance for this Navy offense, and you can see that Tulane safeties, they were cheating up at about 8 yards. Navy took their shot down the field, but pressure flushed Morris out to the near side. Crucial 3rd down here, and an offense that's not set up for these particular situations. We've seen 80 Mark Walker be the go-to guy in the second half, and 3 Michael Cooper, who's got some excellent size down here at the bottom near to your screen.
You saw defensive coordinator Jack Curtis up top a moment ago looking for his defense to get a stop here on 3rd and long. Carruthers with nowhere to go, stopped at the 49-yard line. So the intransigence of the Tulane defense showing up at a timely juncture.
Well, Nick Anderson coming off a fantastic game, downhill right now, just kind of hides behind his defensive tackle until Carruthers comes open. Another tackle for loss for the junior linebacker, Nick Anderson.
And in comes Daniel Davies. He's going to set up the punt from his own 37-yard line. There's number 11, Amari Jones, back at his own 15 for the Green Wave. A high spiral, great punt. Let's see if it stops before going into the end zone. No, it'll come back out. 1st down and 10 for the Tulane. Navy highly emotional with a flag down on the field at about the 14-yard line. We've seen a little bit more of that here in the second half. Emotions frayed a little bit.
Yeah, post-whistle skirmish away from the ball on that punt cover. Referees will huddle the center judge through the flag as he was trailing the play.
Be interesting because Sorrell Brown looked to me to be the instigator, and then a Navy player comes in second, and you know what they always say, Jonesy? They always catch the second party. I'm intrigued to see exactly what the call is here.
Yeah, it also could be some taunting going on, too. I thought the Tulane players were celebrating over the Navy player.
After play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 64, the kicking team. 15 yards from the touchback spot, 1st down.
Here's what I was talking about. As we're going to look here, 86 kind of on top of the Navy player, Sorrell Brown, and there's the taunting, but then it's late. As you see, 64 Stingle comes in, a little shove of Brown, and Brown got exactly what he wanted with the flag going his way.
Thought he sold it. And whistles on the field.
Please set the game clock to 8:08. 8:08.
Go ahead.
Keon Howard at quarterback trying to get his rhythm back. They haven't scored any points here in the second half. They've stalled out with just 49 yards of offense.
That's a great graphic right there. I mean, a tale of two halves if I've ever seen it. And a little bit surprised here, Tajay Spears, I feel their best back not in the game.
Amari Jones not in the game either. This is number 20, Cameron Carroll, bouncing it outside and pushed out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Good enough to pick up a 1st down. Interesting story with Cameron Carroll out of Flowood High School. His dad, Herman, played at Mississippi State collegiately and then later for the New Orleans Saints, who has some football lineage in his background. Here he is again. Nice gain of about 6 or 7 yards as we go back to Kevin in the studio.
Mark, let's go to Notre Dame out-of-conference schedule here. Just one game against USF. Ian, both rolling right. You like this, Mark?
I do like this because he's supposed to set up in the pocket, and he gets leakage in the interior of the pocket and slides to his right and completes the ball down the field.
And it's Chris Tyree, Bug.
Great job by the fullback in front of Tyree. Follows the block. Easy score.
Irish up 14-0. Back to you guys.
All right, Kevin, back here. It's 2nd down and 2. Cameron Carroll in the backfield. 2 receivers out to the top of your screen.
Feel pressure coming.
They run into the heart of the defense, and boy, Cameron Carroll with some tough, determined invariable running, getting the first down.
He's the bruiser, right? So fourth quarter, I guess they're saying maybe a little bit of a tired Navy defense, so they played so well in the second half. They're going to put the bigger-bodied, more physical back in Cameron Carroll. I was surprised we didn't see Spears, but now I can see why after a couple of quality runs for the sophomore back.
6:43 to go, and a player shaken up on the field for Navy at the 35-yard line. That's John Marshall, their hybrid safety.
I don't think so, but a big game tonight, that's for sure.
1st and 10. Handed off to Carroll with nowhere to go. Going to be stopped up. About 6.5 minutes to go.
To illustrate the point of how Tulane started fast, scored on 4 of their first 5 drives, have not scored in their last 7. Obviously, a score here would put them up and be a much-needed return to the way they started this game, just on fire and running the football at will on this Navy team.
They've got 258 rushing yards in this game. Handed off again, trying to add to that total. Nowhere to go in the middle of the field. Good tackle made by Jackson Perkins, who moved to defensive end earlier this year. And what do you do here now? Gain of 2.
Keon Howard in this passing attack has really struggled in the second half. I'm going to let him throw the football here, though, if I'm the offensive coordinator, Will Hall. Something easy, something quick.
He's just 10 of 24. Has an interception, no touchdowns.
This is the play of the game for him as they look over. Navy not showing pressure.
They're going to run it with Carroll trying to get to the edge. He's going to be stopped up, breaks a couple of tackles, but it'll be 4th down and about 3 to go for Tulane on the fringes of field goal range for Merrick Glover. And of course, the wind always a factor in this rain.
Seems as if offensive coordinator lost a lot of confidence in his quarterback as he's going to continue to keep it on the ground and keep the ball out of the air.
4th and 3. They've got to get to the 29. Cameron Carroll in the backfield. Looking up top, one-on-one coverage, incomplete. And they'll take over on downs. Jones couldn't quite get there. Michael Jones, the grad transfer from Oklahoma, and Navy gets the stop they needed.
Michael Jones had a step. I just don't get the play call. You're going to throw a fade on 4th down? I mean, I understand if Tulane fans want to grab. There was definitely a grab there by Kinley. Just really surprised at the decision by Keon Howard to take his shot down the field on 4th and seemingly very manageable. Probably a missed call there by the official, as clearly Kinley had a hold of Jones's jersey, but do not like the decision there by the quarterback to take a shot in that moment.
4:41 to go. 1st down and 10 for Navy. Quarterback Dalen Morris at the control. Tosses it into the boundary, and a nice run by Chance Warren. Warren out near midfield and talking his stuff to the defensive back that tried to make the stop. 1st and 10.
Listen, outstanding read by Dalen Morris, and also a great block by 24 Justin Smith. See that block right there on the edge? Allows Warren to cut underneath, get the 1st down and more as he heads for the sidelines. Perfect execution on the option by Navy.
On Tulane side of midfield, Warren in motion, and Dalen Morris kept it and got nailed immediately up front. Nowhere to go. DeAndre Williams making the tackle on the play. 6'3", 290 from Baton Rouge. He is the voice of that Tulane Green Wave defense. And an interesting story with him. He, one of the married players on the team, his wife expecting their child soon.
He is the leader, a 3-time captain, Jonesy. We haven't called his name much today. Usually a very productive defensive tackle. Timely TFL there.
2nd and 12. Morris going to pass over the middle, open, caught, down to the 35-yard line. In stride is Michael Cooper.
This Navy passing game from Dalen Morris got to be the story of the second half. They didn't even attempt a pass, really, in the first half. Just a couple, and they have really opened it up in the second half. Middle of the field wide open, pass out in front, where his big target Cooper can reach out get the catch.
He's now 6 of 11 for 139 yards with a touchdown pass. And look at the stark contrast between the first and second in terms of their aerial attack.
And that opens up the run game on the backside of that.
Going to hand it off to Carruthers. Nowhere to go in the middle of the field. DeAndre Williams there in on another tackle. He had a little bit of company as well. Moody joining him. Marvin Moody, the middle linebacker. 2:39 to go. Second down and 11.
And Navy's going to go slow here. Try to end the game on this possession. They're in no rush.
Faison Nichols won it last year for Navy on a 48-yard field goal. Carruthers again. A quick hitter down to about the 32-yard line. Sets up third down.
Big third down coming up here.
They're going to play it safe and keep it on the ground. Do they take a shot? Morris has been throwing the ball accurately here in the second half, as we just documented.
Right on the fringe of field goal range. Wind's going to be slightly in their face.
Yeah, wind's in their face right now. Rain still strong, but not as strong as it was before. This is out of his range right now. They need another, 7 or 8 yards.
So 3rd and 8 to go. They've got to get to the 25.
We call a timeout and talk about it. Crucial third down. As Quint mentioned, they're looking to milk this and take it as far down as they possibly can in the game on this possession, being such a crucial play. Ivan Jasper, offensive coordinator, wants a few more minutes to talk it over.
Willie Fritz's team trying to hang on, unlike last week when they rallied late against University of Southern Alabama. It was all Tulane in the first half. They started out a house of fire. Big plays, the jet sweep touchdown there by Fat Watts. And then Cameron Carroll with another rushing touchdown. Looks like they were going to blow Navy out, but then the second half, Navy started connecting on some timely runs and passes. McMorris there up the middle. And then the safety was one of the key defensive plays, Dusty.
And the passing attack down the field, stretching this defense out. No question. Navy defense came alive, as did this offense. Wow. What a game we have here between Navy and Tulane. And it's like you mentioned earlier, it's how these games go, right? They always close out.
Last 3 games between these two teams have gone down to the wire, been decided by 3 or fewer points. Dalen McMorris, the quarterback, folks, he began the day as an observer, as a cheerleader on the sidelines. Xavier Arline got the start, the true freshman. Bijan Nichols right there, hoping to get an attempt to win this game in consecutive years for Navy. Here we go on 3rd down and 8. Morris gives it to the fullback. Carruthers stays on his feet, gets the first down, and that is huge for Navy. Well within field goal range as Jamel Carruthers with a key run over that left side.
Left side, strong side. This is the part of their offensive line that they trust. They've had there. The right guard pulls. Peter Nestrowitz, he gets out in front, opens it up, and it's a leg drive by the fullback. Jamel Carruthers fighting, scratching, clawing, getting enough to move the chains.
They were down 24-0. And right now they're on the 24-yard line of Tulane. In control with 1:10 to go. Carruthers with 127 yards and adding to that total. They want to put the ball in the middle of the field as Tulane's defense goes for the strip. They're going to run it down and set up Bijan Nichols, who won the game last year for New Matalolo, as time expired on the clock. And this is potentially the type of win, should they come back, that really can catapult your team to newer heights. There he is, Bijan Nichols, going through his strides, going through his steps, going through his preparation. Right now the ball on the 24-yard line, Dusty, so if they keep it there, it would be a 41-yarder, and This would be really an amazing way to bounce back from getting drubbed 55-3.
And this is exactly what Coach Niumatalolo wanted to see out of his team. How do they respond to adversity? Coming in, he said to us, what are we? Who are we? How will we respond? They didn't respond in the first half, but man, if they responded here in the second half, and you're exactly right. Moments like this second half, they can come back and finish off this victory. This could potentially be a launching point for this football team to get back on their winning ways.
American Athletic Conference opener for both these teams. Navy was 11-2 last year. This is the biggest second half comeback in school history for Navy. They bring in the fullback Nelson Smith. Morris is going to keep it himself. Two hands on the football inside the 20-yard line to about the 17. The ball is going to be on the left hash, neither team with a timeout remaining. They're going to set up and look like they're going to run one more play and then get Nichols onto the field for the potential game-winning field goal. Run it into the boundary. They're going to keep it on that left hash as Morris goes down with 23 seconds to go. They run the field goal unit onto the field.
And they did not leave themselves a whole lot of time.
No, they're running it tight here.
Very tight. Surprised here by this. They didn't have a timeout, so they couldn't get everything set up. Now it's a rush to get this field goal off for the win.
7 seconds to go. Bijan Nichols for the win. The comeback complete. Time expired. Navy with the rally. Done. Don't call it a comeback. Wow.
What a ball game. What a finish by the Navy midshipmen. Their head coach wanted to see what type of intestinal fortitude they have. That question was answered here today, Jonesy. Biggest second half comeback in the history of Navy football. Going to take a review and check the clock.
Time has expired on the play.
And that's it.
Ball game. Wow. Done. Hit the bus and head home. Navy storms into the Crescent City, falls down 24-0, and then